Okay, so first thing we're going to do is come down the bottom here on our services, type in access, double click, and look at creating a database. So using the drawings that we did in our OneNote, I'm going to double click blank database. And then I should get some tables. So the tables are going to include like your entity, like user or game, and we're going to make some. So let's look at one involving games and player. So this one's going to have 3 tables. All right, I'm going to show you the relationship. So the first one is going to be player. I'm going to add in name. After that, we're going to add in another one. We might change view first. So look, view to call that one player. Good, looks better. And instead of field 1, we're going to call this one name. This one's going to be or player ID. So this is your unique primary key. Notice there's a key here up there. That's why. These will always be auto number. Don't change them. All right. So that we'll have a last name, and I'll go with a player handle, like whatever your nickname is. Now, if you look at these, you can see here that you got the size, so it's 255 characters, like ABC. You got a validation rule, so if I click here, I can add in specific rules. So, for example, I come in here and I can type in must be an integer or must be text, depending on what it is. We won't worry too much about that. So that's your first one, it's called player. If I right click, I can look at creating another one, and we will do that now. Save that one first, and then we'll see if we can get another one in here. Create table, good. And then we'll make sure we go into change view, so to design view. I'm going to call this one gameplay. So this is going to be that composite key, which contains information from both tables, or foreign keys from both tables. We call this gameplay ID. It's going to have the foreign key for gameplay, and it's also going to have the primary key for gameplay, and it's also going to have the foreign keys. So the foreign key is going to be player ID. And it's not going to be auto number, it's going to be just a number. And then I'm going to get the one from the game. I call it game ID. So this is going to be the foreign key, and it's also going to be a number. So that's our gameplay, and then we're going to look at game. So let's save this, and we're going to go to create table. Let's go and change the view to design. We're going to call it game. I'm going to call this game ID. Game name. Let's go rating. So that was one of them before we looked at. So rating is just going to be text. Game name is going to be text. So text is just words. And we'll leave it at that. There is no foreign key because that would be in gameplay. Now, once we save that, like that, we can look at joining them together. So that's done in database and relationships. And then we can just go through, shift, and drag them all on here, or just go add, close this. Now we're going to link them together. So remember, it was one game, many gameplay, and one player can be part of many gameplays. Okay. So if I remember correctly, you can just click here and drag a relationship out. So we're going to specify game ID in gameplay to not that one, but game ID here. Make sure you enforce referential and updates. So that means if you delete something, the effect flows down to the table gameplay. Alright. Great. Okay, if your tables are still open like these are, you will have to cancel and close. Good. Let's try again. Let's go game ID to game ID. Good. There we go. One-to-many tile relationship, and you can see how the primary key matches the foreign key. Create. Alright, so there's your one, and the infinity symbol down here is the many. Let's do the same thing over here, always dragging from the composite key, or the one where the foreign key is, to the table. Good. And making sure we tick all the boxes and create. Alright, so now, you see here, that is the design. We didn't change notation, but just represented differently in the actual database. But you can see how it all works together. From the survey to get the details, to then getting the fields from the questions, and then to then designing that in change notation, and then making the structure of our database. That's it for today's tutorial. We'll look at creating forms and designing later on.